What's up, everybody? It's your man J-Rock, and I am coming at you with my co-host Siege, and this is another episode of the J-Rock Show. Siege, how are we doing on this fine Friday?
Oh man, we're doing great. Been a great week. Looking forward to a great weekend. Just another wonderful week in SimWorld. How are we doing, J-Rock?
I am doing great today, and for this episode of the J-Rock Show this week, I got another challenge video for our listeners, and this time we're going to do ACC versus SEC.
All right, I like it. So who do I got?
You got the SEC, my man. So who are you taking at point guard with your first pick?
Ooh. I think at point guard, and again, if I remember correctly, we go off their college career.
Off their college career, correct.
But I'm still going to take this guy because he's electric. I'm going to take John Wall.
John Wall, okay.
Just want that athleticism, just that electricity. I'm taking John.
I mean, hard to match that speed, too. That's another thing.
Absolutely. I mean, he's faster than anybody on the court, for sure.
Without question. So, I'm going to go with... For my point guard, I'm going to go with North Carolina Tar Heel legend. I'm going to go with former All-American Phil Ford at my point guard.
It's a great pick. That is a great pick.
All right.
So,
you want me to go first for two guard?
Yeah, you go first for the two.
All right. Two guard, and to me, this is a no-brainer. I got to go with the GOAT, Michael Jordan.
That's probably the right pick.
Enough said, plain and simple. I don't even need to explain that pick.
Well, I can't really beat that pick, but I'm going to go with Pistol Pete. I mean, he did average 44 in college, so seems like the best choice there.
Yeah, without question. All right, so who do you have at your three?
At the three, I'm going to go with a Georgia legend. I'm going to go Dominique Wilkins.
Ooh. I like that. I like what you got going so far. You got speed and a lot of athleticism, and then you got just a certified bucket getter in Pistol Pete.
Yeah, we're gonna try to run you out the gym and just let Pete do the scoring right now. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, now at my three, this one is This one is a little tough for me because, thought about a guy like, David Thompson. I think he was on that national championship team at NC State in 1974, I believe. And, I am going to go a little out of position here, but with what I want to do, or what I kind of have in mind for this lineup. Oh, no, wait, I take that back. I'm going to go with Len Bias, former Maryland legend.
Great pick.
Consensus first-team All-American. I'm going to go with Len Bias at my three.
I love that pick. Len Bias was an absolute legend. Wish we got to see him in the NBA.
And, the interesting thing about Len Bias is Larry Bird was quoted, I know in an interview I saw at a point in time a couple years back, that had Len Bias, had a chance to play in the NBA, Larry Bird would have retired a couple years earlier than what he did, and he's quoted as saying that.
That's actually crazy. That's insane.
So, Len Bias, when he was drafted by the Celtics, was definitely viewed as that heir apparent to Bird.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he could be a similar, talent player.
Without a doubt. And so, I guess I'm at my four, another no-brainer for me. I'm going to go with my dog, Christian Laettner. One of the most hated college basketball players of all time, but you cannot deny that when it comes down to clutch performances, I mean, dude went to 4 Final Fours, 2 national titles, holds a bunch of NCAA tournament records. I mean, can shoot the ball for a 4, can run the floor. To me, that's a no-brainer. I got to go with Christian Laettner.
No, that's a great pick, but I think my next pick is actually one of the positions I think I can win in this one. I'm actually going to take Anthony Davis, put him at the 4, because who I got coming at the 5 is undeniable. So I'm going to go Anthony Davis. I mean, arguably one of the best defenders we've ever seen in college basketball. Just dominant on that end of the floor and on the boards. So I gotta have him.
All right, I got you. Who are you taking at your 5?
My 5, this is the easiest pick of the draft. For me, LSU legend, NBA legend, All-World, Hall of Fame. Give me Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep, I knew
that's a nice front court. Yeah, good luck going in the paint against college Anthony Davis and Shaq. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, you're not scoring on either of them. Just plain and simple. You're not scoring on either of them. But I think I have a very nice counter to that, and who I think could honestly make the center position, or our pick on the center position, really interesting. I'm going to go with former Virginia Cavalier legend Ralph Sampson.
That's a good pick.
You know, Ralph Sampson, I mean, one of the most decorated college big men of all time. I mean, you know, when you think like legends of Virginia basketball, you think Ralph Sampson, to be quite honest. You know, he won National College Player of the Year 3 times, was a 3-time first-team All-American, 3-time ACC Player of the Year. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the right pick.
Right. And
I might have gone Psycho T, but I think Ralph is the right pick there.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I just like that versatility, you know, that's the one thing I always, you know, preach that I like in basketball is versatility. And I feel like, you know, you've got a 4 in Laettner who can definitely stretch the floor. And then you've got Ralph Sampson, who, I mean, 7'2", 7'4". I forgot what exactly he was, but I mean,
huge. He was huge.
You're just not scoring in the paint. Like, no, that's shot. The thing with these 2 front courts. You're not scoring in the paint.
No, I mean, good. The battle down low between these 2 teams is going to be sensational.
Yeah, without question. So, me with my 6th man pick. You know, like I said, the ACC, ACC, arguably one of, if not the most decorated college basketball, you know, conferences in college basketball. I mean, when you look back at the history and all the guys that came through it, ooh, man, this is a tough one. So, but I think I'm gonna go with. Wait, was he? No, he was not ACC. My mind just totally fooled me for a second. All right, Siege, I'm gonna defer to you on this one real quick to hear your 6th man, because I am honestly I'm a little stuck with this one.
All right, I'm gonna go with a SimWorld Prep alum playing for the University of Alabama and SimWorld U right now. I'm gonna go with DJ Childs.
DJ Childs, all right.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's gonna be my guy at 6. I think he'll come in, add some scoring off the bench. Pretty electric 6 man.
Yeah, without question. But he is going to be no match for the guy I have at this 6th man spot. You know, I want a spark plug. I want, you know, a punch coming off the bench, someone who can come in and instantly just stretch the game out, with the score. I mean, and for me, I'm going to go with JJ Redick. Another,
That's an electric pick, J.
college basketball, villain. I mean, one of the best, shooters, to ever play for Duke. So I got to go with, I got to go with JJ Redick, excuse me.
I think that's the right pick.
All right, now for the coach pick, Siege, who do you have for your SEC coach?
I'm going to go with a Kentucky legend, but not the man that most might be thinking. I'm going to go with the guy who has the arena named after him. I'm going to go Adolph Rupp.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer without question. I mean,
no-brainer.
Coached for 40-plus years. I mean, national championships. He was the one who made Kentucky basketball.
Absolutely.
And I think this one is also a no-brainer for me. I got to go with Coach K.
Yeah. There's more competition for best coach in ACC than SEC history, probably, but I think Coach K is the guy.
Yeah, I got to go with Coach K. Just way he always, and Adolph Rupp was kind of the same way, but it's like, Coach K, I think, had one of the longest, or I could be wrong, but I believe it was one of the longest streaks of making it to the NCAA tournament ever, and one of very few coaches to have over 1,000 career wins. To me, that's a no-brainer.
I think you're right. I think Coach K is the guy. I think if I was choosing any SimWorld U coach of all time, I think it would be Coach K probably. So good. I think that's the right pick.
Yes, sir, without a doubt. So, okay, now we go to grading picks here. So for the ACC, we got Phil Ford, and for the SEC, we got John Wall. Who are you taking?
Phil Ford. They just off college career, it's got to be Phil Ford. That guy's a legend.
Yeah,
personally, that's what I'm thinking.
And John Wall, was great at Kentucky, no matter what. But I just feel like the sample size is just too small to really put him over or truly compare him to a guy like Phil Ford. Granted, completely different era in time, but to me, it's like Phil Ford's accolades just stack up too much.
Yeah, it's Phil Ford.
All right, now this is probably
it's Michael Jordan. We could skip this one. It's Michael Jordan. Come on, let's.
Maravich,
actually, if we're talking college career, only college career, it might actually be Pistol Pete.
I could rock with that. That's my. If you're going on, granted, again, almost two different eras, and Pistol Pete was he was the offense for LSU.
And we're talking 44 points a game before there was a 3-point line.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people might think that is blasphemous, but if we're going strictly off college career, like you said, I can rock with Pistol Pete on this one. So I'll give you the edge in that one, Pistol Pete over MJ. I'll
gladly take a dub over MJ. This has got to be a first. I love it.
This will probably be the first, if not one of the only times in any challenge video, someone will be taken over Michael Jordan. Let's just throw that out there right now.
Yep.
So all right.
I know I had Neek at the 3. Who did you have?
I had Len Bias. Now this one I'm going to let you take first because this one is I'm split on this one, truthfully.
My gut lean is to Len Bias. I think Dominique had maybe some better stats, but I don't know if that had to do with at the time the SEC wasn't quite the conference. So if we're going purely off numbers, stats, it's Neek. But if we're talking their college careers, This is a tough one. I think I lean Len Bias on this one.
Think you lean Len Bias on this one?
I think so.
Okay.
He was also in college a little longer, I believe. He was there for 4 years, and he was very consistent through those 4 years. So I think, I mean, look, by the end of his career as a senior, he was averaging over anything Neek ever averaged. So,
right, because he went from 7 points per game as a freshman to 15 to around 19 to 23. I mean, that's the story of continuing to improve and get better every single season in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the ACC was a harder conference in the time that Bias played than in the time that Neek played in the SEC. So let's give it to Bias.
All right. And now this one, I mean, you've got a 4-year guy in Christian Laettner versus a one and done in Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, great defender, at the college level, is not going to have the stats or the accolades overall compared to Christian Laettner. But
I mean,
I'm honest.
Actually, look, I'm going to go. Don't mean to interrupt. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt. I actually think now you're right. Since he played 4 years, Laettner may have more of accolades. But when we talk straight accolades, I mean, yes, Laettner was a 2-time NCAA champion. But in his 1 year, I mean, Anthony Davis got just about every accolade he could get. I mean, we're talking NCAA champion, all-tourney, all-region, tourney, most best player, player of the year, Wooden Award, Naismith Award, Rupp Trophy, SEC player. I mean, literally every accolade he could have possibly gotten, he got. That being said, I still go Christian Laettner just off of college iconicism. I mean, he was that guy. He's one of the most well-known, most iconic college players of all time. So I'm still going to go Laettner.
Okay. So we go with Christian Laettner at the 4. Now this one is the one. This is the big one I've been waiting for. You got Ralph Sampson and Shaquille O'Neal. I believe both were there for exactly 3 seasons. Or no, Ralph Sampson was there for 4, I know. But so they were both there, roughly around the same amount of time. But who are you taking in this one?
I'm going Shaq on this one. I am. I'm going Shaq. Ralph Sampson was sensational, but I'm going Shaq.
I mean, 3-time college player of the year, though. I mean, that's
all right. You've actually convinced me. I didn't even know that, to be honest. I'm going Ralph Sampson. You're right.
I mean,
I gotta get the NBA. I gotta get the SWBA bias out of there. It's gotta be Ralph Sampson.
All right. Like you said, Shaq, dominant in college. I mean, that's about, I'd say probably the second closest one we're going to have on this list besides MJ and Maravich and Pistol Pete. But that's really a close one for me. That really is.
Absolutely.
So, all right, with the 6th man pick, we got J.J. Redick and DJ Childs.
It's J.J. Redick. It's J.J. Redick. DJ Childs just got started. He just got started. That's the only player on this list who is currently in college is DJ Childs. So, I mean, we're talking legacy-wise and whole career. It absolutely has to be J.J. Redick. I'm sorry, DJ. I love you, but it's got to be J.J.
Yeah, that's, I mean, no-brainer.
He's not done yet. He's not done with his story yet. So I mean, it'd be hard to take him over a guy like JJ Redick.
Yeah, without question. All right, so we've got the coach pick now. We've got Mike Krzyzewski and Adolph Rupp.
I think it's Jarek. I think it's closer than the average person would think. But I think for the same reason I go Laettner in this situation is the same reason I go Coach K. He is one of, if not the most iconic, well-known coaches. But I mean, look, that adds in the whole, he coached Team USA for so long and all that. So I mean, Adolph Rupp did I believe he had just as many national championships, if not more, actually.
Coach K had 5 and Adolph Rupp had 4, so about the same. I mean,
it's Coach K. It's Coach K. It is. I mean, I was going to try to make an argument, but let's just be real. The ACC has a deeper basketball history than the SEC. While I do think the SEC has caught up in modern day, we're talking history. I mean, the ACC just has too many iconic basketball names, and I think this is another one that goes to the ACC. It's Coach K.
All right, without a doubt. So this one was not a close score today. So the ACC wins by a score of 5-1. And like you said,
enough, the one was Michael Jordan is the one that lost, which is crazy.
But like several of these, I feel like we could easily make the case to go either way. Like you look at MJ and Pistol Pete, or or based on college, Leitner, and actually I'd say more so a Sampson and O'Neal thing. And I mean, you could say even Coach K and Adolph Rupp. You can make the case for both of them. So I think the score is a bit deceiving. You could make a case almost any which way for just about every one of these guys on this list.
That is true. It's a close race, but we'll give the nod to the ACC on this one.
All right, y'all. That's going to do it for today's episode of the J-Rock Show. Siege, as always, thank you for joining me, my man.
It was a pleasure, as always, J-Rock.
Thanks again, y'all, for tuning in to another episode of the J-Rock Show. We'll see you back next week, and as always, see the game, be the game.